Hello, everyone. Now we're going to do the second part of this three-part chapter 2. In the second part here, I'm going to discuss some things that were in the slides. So I'm not going to be covering everything from the slides. We covered a lot in class, but I'm going to cover what are the most important things. As I said in the first video, the term diversity is largely an American concept, UK concept, whatever, and that when it comes to diversity, there are things that are visible, like the fact I'm white and male, that's visible, but then there are things that are invisible. You don't know the experiences of the person that you're talking to. You don't know a lot about their background, you don't know whatever. So there's visible and invisible. The next highlighted point here is that in the USA, there's what's called the Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So something that is 56 years old now. And this is the only reason why I'm sharing this, because we're not obviously in the USA here, is the idea that because of my country of diversity among its citizens, there was a need to create a law that made it illegal to discriminate against people of different ethnic backgrounds, different religions, different races, so forth. Now, you may be hearing that and say to yourself, Steve, are you saying that there's no racism in America? Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. There is racism in America. What I'm telling you is that because of the Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, racism is technically illegal. And good companies try hard not to be racist, homophobic, anti-religion of any sort, whatever. Good companies try to do that. Are there bad companies out there? Yes, yes there are. So the book goes, the book in the slides goes long into using Lebanon as an example of a country that exemplifies religious diversity in its regulation by the government among its diverse religious groups, okay? Now, because I've been fortunate enough to now have made many, many Lebanese friends, I asked them about this particular point in the Arab version of the Dessler text. You know, do you really think Lebanon is this well diverse? And they were like, no, 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 no. So I'm not going to emphasize that too much in this class because, yeah, I'm just not going to emphasize this too much. So when it comes to diversity in human resources, I hope you can see this and that my camera is not blocking things. There are two reasons why. I told you overall diversity is better. Having diversity is good. And there's two reasons why it's good. The big one is that the overall positives outweigh the negatives. I said that in the last video. But there's what's called the equality approach, which the equality approach says you want diversity because it's just fair. So this is saying we need diversity because it's the fair thing to do. Okay? Yeah. The other reason why diversity is important is what's referred to as the business case. The business case extols. Wow, that's just not a word normal people use. The business case is the case that I made in class, which is we need diversity because it's the smart thing to do business-wise. Virtually every technology company in America, Apple, Google, Microsoft, all of them have made the point that they need more diversity in their workforce. That it's too many men, and it's too many white men in particular that are within their company, and that they know they need more diversity. And they openly talk about it because of all the reasons that I've talked about before. They realize they're going to do a better job reaching customers if they have more diversity. So that's the business case for diversity. The context of diversity in Arab countries, the issues of diversity here are different than the issues of diversity in America, for sure. I do appreciate that they point out that there are examples of powerful women in the UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, so forth, that have all been publicized. This weekend, I'm actually hoping to interview one of my former students, Doa, who works for the youth ministry now, and I hope to interview her and put that up on the YouTube too this weekend. There are so many examples of women doing fantastic things in the UAE and other countries, and diversity is a good thing to emphasize that. Okay. Nothing much on these slides. Again, I'm just skipping the whole Lebanon thing because, yeah, just skipping it. Okay. So, but some of the things they talk about in Lebanon are true across the world. The fact that in Lebanon, the level of illiteracy among females, illiteracy, if you don't want to know what the word means, don't worry about it. Illiteracy simply means the unable to read or write, okay? And that the level of literacy is higher among women than it is among men because women weren't being sent to school. So there was a reason for that. But I would note, one of the things I think is truly amazing, here in the UAE, it's not just UAU where more women are going to college than men. It's across all the universities in the UAE. So it is interesting that now we're getting way more college educated women in the UAE than men. So that for me that says the UAE is going to have a good future because, yeah. And the same is true in America, by the way. But the number of women going to college in America, there are now more women college graduates than there are men under the age of 40 or something like that. If you go back 50 years, it was mostly men going to college. But women are getting better educated now. And speaking as a man, I look forward to the day when women are running more things. But looking at some America statistics, which the word statistics there is spelled wrong. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have that second S. Here are some, I just want to make the point here that the lack of women in charge is not just an Arab world problem, it is a problem around the world. So in America, the 500 largest companies in America, it's called the Fortune 500 companies. Of the 500 largest companies in America, only 33 have women as the CEO. Think about that. 33 out of 500. That means 467 of the 500 are led by men. And it's not just at the very top, overall within top management, less than 10% of overall top management is led by women. So the world has a long way to go to treating women equally. And I'm going to discuss the whole affirmative action and amortization in the next video. So for this, I will stop. And I think I did this one much faster. Yay. See you in the next video.